Hello, my name is Storm Silverman. I'm the president of an organization here in Fayetteville, North Carolina called the Alliance. I'm also one of the four co-founders of this organization. I'd like to tell you a little bit about our mission that we see as helping the GLBTQ community. Our purpose is to provide education, support, and advocacy for citizens of this area who are part of and allies with the GLBTQ community. One of the things that we've been talking about lately is bullying that goes on in our own community, the community that surrounds us, our school community, our family community. Last night I was at a symposium down at University of North Carolina in Pembroke. Sorry about that. And they had an anti-bullying symposium with a gentleman as a keynote speaker. His name was Dr. Robbins, Dr. Stephen Robbins. Man was fantastic. At first, in the beginning of this lecture of his, I was like, okay, so how does this have to do with with bullying and what we can do to stop bullying? He's a studier of the mind and he does a lot of neurological work. So he's giving us a little bit of background about how our minds work. We did a couple of really fun exercises with the group and made everybody laugh. So with perceived notions in our head, and some of the things that we grow up with, we have some, unfortunately, things that stick in our head when we see certain types of people. Like, for instance, he's Vietnamese. So when people see him, they think Asian, slanty eyes, and a number of other preconceived notions about him. People look at me when I walk outside dressed how I dress, and they think butch, dyke, and whatever. And I'm a transgendered man. I did identify as dyke or butch or however you want to put it. The thing is that other people can walk out dressed in a similar fashion. Maybe they're going camping, and people automatically think they're gay, they're butch, they're dyke. Or for instance, a woman I talked to last night was in the military, and people just automatically assumed, well, she has to be a lesbian. So with these kind of things that we put in our heads, of our own doing, and because they're kind of forced through our community and our family, we sometimes do what he described as unintentional bullying. Actually, he had another word for it. Well, unintentional intolerance. I'll have to look that up for you. However, what it boils down to is that sometimes, unintentionally, we say things that are in a manner of bullying other people. This has got to stop. So, how do we do this? We have to train our brain to think before we act. One of the great exercises that he showed us about how our brain does not think before we act is that he could give us an example of something and make us say the wrong answer, even though in our head we have the right answer. So, for instance, and I'm stealing from Dr. Robbins in his speech that he did last night, but I think he'll forgive me if I'm trying to pass a message on. If you'd like to do along with me, it'd be really great. Otherwise, it's really not going to work. Okay, so one instance that he did was he wrote top on the display board. And he said, okay, I want y'all to say this word with me 10 times, really, really quick. And I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer it. Don't think about it, just answer it. So I go top, 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 top. What do you do at a green light? Everybody says, stop. So he stops, and he looks, and he goes, what do we do at a green light? And everybody's laughing. Well, of course, we go at a green light. We know this. We have the right answer. But because he was able to put this suggestion in our brain automatically thought, stop. So how do we do this? How do we get the right answers out? What we know inside is the right answer. Stop and think. I had an experience not long ago. I was with a group of people, and we were talking about some things, and not to bring anybody out on YouTube or anything, but we were talking about some things, and a person of a different faith walked by and something was said that highly offended me. Now, I'm not a member of this group. I don't practice their religion, but it offended me because it was an example of our intolerance to look at people, not as their religion, not as their color, not as their sexual orientation, not as their job status or their money status or their society status, but as a human being that we live with here on this earth. And the only way we are going to stop things like bullying, whether it's in the LGBT community or whether it's in the school or anywhere, is if we stop and realize that we are humans and we need to treat others as we would like to be treated, and that we all need, still a cliche, get along. We're not going to always get along with certain personalities, but that doesn't mean that we have to treat them less than ourselves. It's not cool. It's not cool at all. This is just an introduction video so that some people have something to look at when they first go to our webpage. This will eventually go into an archive, and I will eventually have a semi-permanent video on the front page. But I hope that you look through our webpage. Please forgive that it's not totally finished yet, and keep in mind that more things will be coming. So come back often. If you know somebody that needs some of our resources, some of our advice, maybe some time just to talk to, send them our way. We have a phone number that goes to a hotline. It'll come to either myself or one of my other key members in the group that are qualified to help talk with people. Okay? I'd like to thank you for coming to our website. I hope you get what you need. And if you're not getting what you need and you'd like to see something, drop me a line. Email, voicemail, text message, I'll take it all. Look forward to hearing your suggestions, your thoughts, and your ideas. And I hope everybody has a great day. And as Dr. Robbins said, stand like a tall tree, strong against the wind. Thank you.